Hey everyone, it's Mari. I've got another 12 by 12 scrapbooking process here for you today, and I'm going to mostly be using odds and ends from a bunch of different Felicity Jane kits. I think the piece of paper that I'm going to be starting out with here is from this Sophie kit, and it's just a really pretty light pink pattern paper that I wanted to use for the base of my layout today. Now I'm going to be taking this stencil, I think this is from the Crafter's Workshop, and I'm going to be using some golden light molding paste on this paper just to create a little bit of texture over top of that pattern, and it just creates a little bit more interest to the paper and adds a little more dimension to it. And it does create an effect that allows you to sort of do some really simple scrapbooking over top so that it just looks really interesting without taking away from the photograph or what you're doing on top of it. So I've just taken this photo of Bailey. It's a Snapchat with a filter. I've printed it in, I believe, 3.5 by 2.5. And you can see that I've just backed it onto a journaling card from Felicity Jane, and then another piece of white paper with some black polka dot detail on it. Now I'm going to use a little bit of this really thin washi tape at the top, and I'm just going to create a little bit of detail at the top of the layout just to give the top a little bit of weight. And so I had cut this piece of gold glitter paper, just this very thin strip. It's about 1/2 inch wide. And I'm also going to use this trim from Felicity Jane that has the little pom-poms on it. It's super cute. And I have used it on one layout already, and there was just a little bit of it left, so I thought I would try to use it up on this layout as well. It's just really soft, and I think that it just went along nicely with what I was wanting to do with the top part of the layout. Now I've just taken some other bits and pieces from some other kits, and I'm going to create a title with some of them. The love is created from a phrase sticker sheet from Maggie Holmes that was in one of the kits. And then the smile cut apart is also going to be part of the title. I'm going to use a little bit more of that gold glitter paper behind my photograph here. You can see that I have just taken some scraps of gold glitter paper from my stash just to use up here on this layout to create a little bit of shine. Now I'm going to take 1/4 inch of paper off all of the different sides of this base. I'm actually going to take 1/2 inch off the bottom because I didn't want to take any off of the top part there that has the washi tape on it. I'm going to use this Maggie Holmes pattern paper as a frame for my layout just to bring that black around the edges of my layout. Just going to gut that paper and then, like I said, just use the outer edges as the frame. I'm going to use my ATG gun here to create the adhesive around my layout to stick that down to my frame. And just going to finish gutting this and stick that base down here to the frame. And then I will finish creating the rest of the layout. Now, you saw me kind of lay everything out. That's typically what I do when I'm creating a layout, is I will just lay all of the different bits and pieces out onto it and kind of get an idea of what I want to do for the design, and then I will start to adhere things down. So now I'm just taking and I am putting that glitter paper down with some liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to place this pom-pom trim underneath that, and then I'm going to actually just take my sewing machine and sew through that so that it stays intact. So I didn't really want to use any more liquid adhesive underneath that. So you won't see me doing this on camera. I'll just take my sewing machine and sew through that with some white thread. So that's already done there. And now I'm just going to take my photo layers here again and just kind of finish up with what I want to do here. Now I'm going to take the gold glitter paper and I'm going to actually adhere that behind the photo using some foam adhesive just to pop it up a little bit. It's actually a really easy way to stick this down to that modeling paste or the molding paste behind the photo, because it is a little bit tricky to get things to stick to that. So the foam adhesive is super sticky and it will stick nicely to that, as well as add a little bit of dimension to that gold glitter paper and lift up the edges of the photograph bases or layers. Now I see that white polka dot paper behind my photo it is longer, quite a bit longer than the photo mat, and initially I just wanted to leave it that way because I wasn't sure where everything else was going to go for embellishments. So you will see me end up trimming it down on the top, but I leave the bottom a little bit longer as a base for that part of the title that says love. Now I'm taking these gorgeous mint green alphas from Felicity Jane, and I'm going to use them as part of the title. The piece of pattern paper, or the journaling card that's behind the photo of Bailey, is mint green, so this is going to match up with that. And I'm going to use that cut apart, or that cut out smile, as part of the title as well. So the title will be Love Your Smile. Now I'm just going to use some of the little rubber hearts from the embellishments just as little spots of detail here and there on the layout, and I will adhere those down to the layout using some glossy accents. I find that that's really the best adhesive for anything that's rubberized when you're using that in paper crafting. So now I'm just going to take that label and I'm going to add that with that little rubber bow at the bottom, just to kind of repeat that little bow theme from you can see that really cute little checkered bow paper clip that's on the photograph. That's also from Felicity Jane as well. And I'm going to just use some VersaFine black onyx ink as my stamp for my stamping here. And it just says thankful for you, and that is, as you could see, a Felicity Jane stamp. Now what I did was I just printed out a poem from Maya Angelou, and I just cut it out and into strips, and I'm just going to kind of adhere that down in sort of like a random, not necessarily absolutely straight, it's not left justified or anything like that, to the left of the photograph. And I'm using a couple more of those rubber charms from Felicity Jane just to finish off that area as well. So I just really like this poem. It definitely is reflecting on what I was thinking about and what some of the things that Bailey and I'd had conversations about recently, and I just thought it was perfect for this layout. And I love this photo of her, it's so pretty. And she was having a lot of fun. They were at the Calgary Stampede, and she sent me this Snapchat, and I just thought it would be a good photo to scrap. So that's my layout for today. You can just see I'm adjusting the alphas here a little bit. I wasn't perfectly happy with where they were sitting, and that's going to round this up. So if you take a look at the still shots at the end, you can see some of the things in a little more detail. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and I'll see you another time. Bye bye.